In this video, we are going to learn about two important inbuilt functions in Python which we use often while programming in Python. First is range function. We use range function to generate a sequence of numbers. What actually it does is, it accepts an integer and returns a range of object which is a type of iterable. So to illustrate the same, I'll call the range function like this. X is equal to range and inside the parenthesis I'll mention as 5. Now if I display the type of X, then this is of type range. So the class range refers to the iterable data. So to see the data generated by the range function, we will pass it inside the list constructor. So I'll write as xList is equal to list of x. What happens is, this will convert the range object to Python lists with the sequence of objects generated by the range function. Okay, now let's print it to see the data inside the list. Yes, so this has generated the Python list with the values between 0 to 4. So guys, now to summarize, what I can say is, the range function will accept the integer and returns the range object. In our example, I have created the variable x and set it equal to range 5. So, if we then check the type of x, this is of type range. To see the elements that are generated by the range object, we have converted it to Python lists by passing inside the list constructor. And after conversion, if we then print the values of newly created list, we have the output with the values between 0 to 4. So guys, in the same way, let's see what will be the output we get if we create as range of 10. So I'll write as x is equal to range of 10. xList is equal to list of x, and then I'll print this xList. And as we can observe in the output, this has generated the values between 0 to 9. And this is because Python chooses 0 as start value. We can also specify the start and end value as per our requirement. For example, I'll write as x is equal to range of 5, 10. So guys, what happens is, this will generate the iterable object with a sequence of numbers between 5 and 10. But please note here, the starting value is inclusive, but the end value is exclusive. So now let's print it. For that, what we have to do, I'll first convert it to Python list. xList is equal to list of x and then print it. As we can see in the output, we have the output as the sequence of numbers between 5 and 10, that is 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. We can observe that the default step size is 1. And of course, we can also specify the step size as per our requirement. So to illustrate the same, I'll write it like this. X is equal to list of range 10, 100, 5. And as you can observe in the code, I have written everything in a single line. And I have mentioned the start of range as 10 and end as 100. And this time, as a third argument, I have passed the value as 5. So let's print the x and see what will be the output. And as we can see in the output, this has generated the values between 10 and 100 with having the gap of 5 in the sequence of integers. So guys, this completes the range function in Python. So the next function we are going to learn is input function. We use the input function to accept the input from user. So I'll first write the program to show how we make use of input function. As you can see in the program, I have used the input function and inside the parenthesis, I have specified the instruction to the user. The instruction that I have specified is, please enter the integer. I have assigned the value which is provided by the user to the variable x. And after the assignment of the value to x, I have printed the data type of variable x. And after that, I have converted the variable x into integer type. So you will understand why I am doing this when you see the output. Okay, don't worry about it now. After the conversion to the integers, I am printing the type of xnum. And then I have specified the conditional statements. The conditional statements check whether the number is less than 100. If yes, we are printing as number is lesser than 100. Else, we are printing as number is greater than 100. So guys, let's execute the cell and see what happens. Yes, can you observe this? Yes, we have the prompt which is asking us to enter the integer. Now, until I specify an input, we can see that the execution is stopped. Now, what I'll do is, I'll just enter the value as 50 and press the enter key. Okay, once I have entered the value as input, we have the output as data type of x is strings and data type of xnum is integer and the number is less than 100. So guys, we have the data type of x as strings because by default, whatever the value we provide to input function, it will be returned as strings by it. Hence, I have created the variable xnum to convert to integer. Got the point? Yes. Now, only after the conversion to integers, I have performed the evaluation of condition expression inside the if statement. Okay? So guys, to summarize, in this example, we have learnt about all the important properties of input function. We use the input function to take the input from user. If we have specified the input function in our program, the program execution waits until the user provides the input. We assign the input function to a variable so that it can be stored for our future use. And by default, no matter what the data we give as input, it will be treated as strings by the input function. So guys, with this, we come to the end of this video on important inbuilt functions in Python.